Do you ever feel like parenting is hard and you're in survival mode and you just want a break? Well, I'm going to give you some tips for how to claim a little bit of time for yourself, how to have your kids help you, and how to get your spouse on the same page with parenting your kids. So I see a lot of parents commenting of, I feel like I'm in survival mode. And I was there. I had a 2.5-year-old when my twins were born, and my husband was often on travel, and we did not live close to family. And I felt that pressure of, I need a break. And I began to think about how I could help myself through this time period, but also enjoy my kids. I wanted to have kids and I wanted to enjoy that time with them. But I also wanted to maintain my sense of self. I had worked before I had children and took a break to stay at home with them for a while. And for a time, I felt like I lost that sense of who I was. I was no longer Tiffany Baki, but just mom. And so how could I find that balance of being a parent and the person that I am, myself, those things that make up me besides just being a parent? I learned very quickly that to raise a child, it takes a village. So when people said, I'll take your daughter for a little bit, or do you want me to come help do a load of laundry? I learned to stop saying, no, that's okay, I really appreciate it, and said, yes, thank you. I began to also look for places where there were other moms gathering. I'm a mom, but you can find other parenting groups that are gathering. I joined a mom's club. I joined a mom's workout group called Stroller Strides, and it gave me a break in a different way, where I was talking to other mothers in the same situation, but we were active, and then our children were getting to play. So we weren't always so focused on our kids, and we got that little bit of a break. I also, although I was tired, I made sure to do some of those things, or pick up those things again that I enjoyed. I talked to my husband, and he agreed to watch our kids one night so I could go back to singing and join a chorus. I began doing cross-stitching again. I was doing scrapbooking, little things that I could put down but still gain that sense of myself. And I also learned that, when it gets rough, I'm gonna call a babysitter and I'm gonna go sit by myself, or I'm gonna go do bunco with some other wives. But I learned to not feel guilty if my husband was out of town and needing to parent my kids. I did not feel guilty about getting a babysitter for an hour or two. As my kids got older, my daughter was 2.5 when my boys were born. And then as my boys got older, I began to enlist their help. Children want to help. They have that natural desire for purposeful work. And so my daughter was very helpful if I gave her small tasks that I taught her first. She was very helpful with helping unload the dishwasher or drying dishes. So she had the job of putting away the utensils, or putting away the Tupperware, or putting away her snack containers. She could also dry pots and pans for me. With laundry, she could help fold some towels, help stuff the cloth diapers. But the thing that was the most helpful was I would fold the clothes, but she knew how to put her own clothes away. She knew where they went, and she knew how to hang up her shirts on hangers. And so that saved a lot of time for me. Also, I had taught her how to sort her laundry when she took clothes off each night. She had in her room 3 baskets, a whites, lights, and darks basket. And so when she took off her clothes and was changing, she had put her clothes in the correct basket. So it made getting to the laundry a lot faster. Another way that kids can help once they get into school, or even before they get into school, is they can help make their own lunches. You don't have to be busy preparing all your kids' lunches. There are lots of tools available for children to use. Small little wavy choppers or nylon knives where they can cut up their own vegetables, their own fruit. If they can count from 1 to 10 and know one-to-one correspondence, you can write on with a Sharpie on a box. You can have 8 Cheez-Its and they can count that out. You can also have a step stool in the kitchen so they can step to get into the refrigerator or sometimes step to reach lower shelves. Your children love to help. Let them help. And they're going to eat their food a lot better if they have a say in what they eat and help prepare it. I had to learn to relish the little moments. I would say, okay, my kids went to bed, I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes to just sit, and I had to enjoy it then. I took my kids frequently for walks in the afternoon when it was that witching hour between dinner and bedtime and they were fussy. Well, once we were out walking, they were calmer and I was calm. They were in the stroller, my daughter was riding her bike, and I took that moment to appreciate the calm. As my children have gotten older, and with COVID and all of us being home, the little moments where he and I going for a walk after dinner, and our kids, they could be outside playing, but it was our time to walk by ourselves and just regain that time together as husband and wife. I got really good at meal prep. Now they have Instapot. Oh, what a help that would have been. But I used a crock pot, I used a rice cooker a lot, and I found that roasting vegetables was a really quick way to prepare dinner. So I got very creative that I didn't need to spend hours in the kitchen. So right after my twins were born, I did have postpartum, and I had to, at that time, just focus on the moment. I couldn't look an hour or two later and think, oh, I need to unload the dishwasher, or I need to get some laundry done, or I need to figure out dinner, or I need to figure out a snack. I had to stay in the moment. What am I going to get done in this next hour that is something that I can handle and get done? I took baby steps. And then I also enjoyed small little things. Cake Boss, the TV show, helped me get by. Listening to Christmas music starting in September really helped me get by. Now, I did go back to work when my daughter was 5 years old and my boys were 3. And this is where I saw how much consistency and routine was so important. I had established that early on with my kids, and now with me sharing more of the parenting 50-50 with my husband and me not being the primary caregiver so much, if he was the one to put the kids to bed, we had a consistent routine of the same thing happening at the same time, so that if I did it the following night, there wasn't a meltdown because he had let our child stay up late and not get ready for bed, and then a tantrum ensued. So consistency and that routine was key. And he and I really learned to work as a team. If I cleaned up the dishes in the kitchen, he was giving the kids the bath and reading a story. If I was preparing food, he was setting the table. So that teamwork and both of us being aware of each other, and if we slacked, it gave the other one more work and it wasn't so much considerate. We really tried to maintain that courtesy of, I'm going to do my part and you're going to do your part, and together we're a team and it works and we're both happy and things get done and we have a break because we have this consistent routine. Our kids are used to it and we can actually sit at nighttime for a little bit before falling asleep. So right now you may be in parenting survival mode and desperate for a break. And that may not be a possibility for you to just get away. So I hope that these tips I have given you give you a break in a different way. or you're still with your children, but it's lightening your load by sharing the workload with them, relishing the little bit of time that you can grasp for yourself, and establishing a consistency and a routine with your husband and your kids to allow the workload to be easier and perhaps get done faster. If you are finding my tips helpful, please subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, follow me on Facebook at The Montessori Place.